Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, December the 1st, 2025, cryptocurrency and blockchain technology update, gold and silver bullion. You can see silver is nearly $60 an ounce now. It's at an all-time high. Gold is going near its old all-time high. And the brief consolidation that there was in the mining sector, you can see has now fully recovered. As you can see, Barrick Gold is at a new all-time high, or nearly, not an all-time high, but at a 10-year high probably. If we look back at here, yeah, it's 5-year high. So we're approaching its all-time high. We're getting very, very close at $41. Dolly Varden is pushing $5. First Majestic Silver is nearly $16, and that's breaking out to getting closer to its all-time high, and it's at nearly just about to break its 2020 high if it hasn't already. Kinross Gold is nearly at its all-time high. You can see in the weekly closes it's at its all-time high, but $32 is its intraday, inter-week high, all-time high. Hecla Mining is almost $20. Silver Corp is pushing 8. Rivian is pushing 20. Pan America Silver is at a record high. We remember we were buying this at $16.50. It's nearly $50 a share now. Just absolutely incredible. B2 Gold is almost back to $5. Fortuna is getting close to its all-time high as the mining sector continues to perform and perform very well. Something that is performing very, very bad is the cryptocurrency and blockchain technology sector. As you can see, Bitcoin has now given away 100% of its 2025 gains. It's actually negative on the year now. Can you believe that? It's actually negative. Who would have predicted 2025 Bitcoin to be negative on the year? Nobody would have predicted that. But old Vincenzo was giving you the warnings and giving you the reasons and giving you ways that the Bitcoin price could go down and cause big problems with some of these Bitcoin ETFs. As you can see, since that swing high back in October, the price is down at current price 33.12%. And we're now coming back down and breaking the 100-day moving average in the weekly time frame, and we're below it now. And if we continue to go below that, you're going to see some very bad things happen. As I don't know how that got moved. You can see the 200-day in the weekly time frame is sitting down there at $66,178, and that's an area that we've been watching for and calling since we came down from the 50-day moving average, that this could be your next major move to the downside, a next major move in the cryptocurrency price. Right. And that's what I think where it's going. And that's going to have a lot of problems with some of these quasi Bitcoin treasuries like a Microstrategy. The same thing with Ethereum. It got heavily rejected. And you can see that was your bullish option. It got rejected by the 3052. It's given all of that gang back up. And it appears it's coming down to the 2475, which is a major support level. And if it doesn't hold that in the Ethereum price, you could come all the way down to the 1798 or the top part of this blue support and resistance box. And you can see back out in the daily time frame that's near where this rally started, where we went from an all-time high, and you might be about to be giving all that back. If we look at the XLM price, you can see we did not take the bearish or the bullish move. We got rejected like we talked about on the last video in most of last week, uh, where we had this freshly minted bearish cross. You came back up to the 100-day moving average and classic hook nose bearish reversal. Now you're going to come back down to the 200-day moving average, and when you don't hold that, you're likely to come down in an up and down fashion to the 18 cents and potentially lining up for a 14-cent bear market bottom, just as we told you that this might not have been the capitulation bottom, and that might have just been a move sophisticatedly and orchestrated to trick the retail and the market to think the bottom was in when really the bottom was just starting. So we got some big far down prices potentially in XLM. The same thing with the XRP. It got failed by the upper resistance. You can see the 50-day is sitting right on the 50-day in the weekly. We have the golden bearish cross where the 100-day is below the 200-day. You can see on a rejection, we're coming back down to the 100-day moving average, which is $1.84 in the XRP. And then I think just like all three of our 4 tracks show, coming down to 135. And I think we are coming down there. And then I even been highlighting how we potentially could be coming back in a couple of months in an up and down fashion back to this blue support and resistance box, which doesn't seem plausible, but is likely because every time we come down after a high, we come back down, high, down, off top, came all the way back, blow off top, came 3/4 of the way back. Blow off top, come 3/4 of the way back, would bring you right back into this green or blue support and resistance box. That was our support and resistance box for about 2 years when we were talking, from all the way back there through 2024 before the Donald Trump blow off top rally, right? So that is very possible to come back down there. And then that forms not only a mountain double top right there, but a Bart Simpson look. And then you come back down and then potentially have that return rally, right? So things are very bearish right now across the sphere. That doesn't mean they have to go down to these targets. The market can change on a split second and a dime, right? But you can see right now, if you want to not go down there and try to change this, you have to hold this $1.84. And at some point, you have to re-break that 233 and hold it and then start moving over these daily time frame moving averages that are stacked in your way and have been forcing the price down ever since you had your blow off high back here in July. These moving averages have once again been beating you and smacking you to the downside. And we're here to keep you educated, to keep you out of what potentially could be going on and what people aren't talking about or even bringing up the possibilities. That's why we've been on this the whole time, that the November to Christmas Day, the Thanksgiving to the holiday extravaganza that everybody was betting on, that everybody thought was going to happen based on the most recent trends since COVID of the holiday rallies. This pulled the rug out from you. November is gone. There was no November rally. November was very, very bearish, very red, debilitating. And the price continues to come down, and you can see our next target's going to get hit, which is the 10 cents, which is right where this move started, back actually way back in September of 2023. Then you had a mini rally in early 24. Then you sold off through late 24 until Donald Trump, and he pumped to 61 cents. And ever since that November, late November day, it's been just down, 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 with some obviously some pumps in between there to get people to buy back, but then just consistently down. And if you break this 10 cents, you could be going in this price discovery the wrong way. Oxyon is in price discovery the wrong way. This back here 1 year ago in the winter, when this was brought to my attention, we were on our way to this 50x blow off top, and I pounded and pounded my fist and voice to you guys to not buy the blow off top. If you had not bought any of this coin prior to the pump, do not buy now. Do not chase. It was only going to lead you to get slaughtered, and there would be better buying opportunities in the future. People were mocking and people were saying no. And now look at this. We're almost about to go back to pre-pump levels. And if you would have bought in on this pump, you can see from pre-pump, if you would have bought in on that 50x pump, you'd be down 60 to 80 to 90% now, and not anytime soon making that money back. As if you break this 0.00234, you're likely to go into price discovery the wrong way. H bar is the same thing. After that big massive pump in November of 24, you got double top rejected at 34 cents, came back to the 15 cents, had a brief rally up to the bottom part of that yellow resistance box, got rejected by the moving averages. We've had our golden bearish cross recently, very extremely bearish. The volume has been sucked away, and your next underneath target looks to be right where that liquid wick went down to an H bar back here, all the way down to 0.08787. And if it breaks that, you could be coming all the way down and challenging an all-time record low. The same thing with XRP Healthcare. You can see it's got 4 rejections now below this major support level. And that's confirming a breakdown, which means you're coming down to 100% give back from this move that it had last year. And if you break this 0.01890, you could go to price discovery the wrong way, where you actually go into new all-time record lows. And people that bought the pump, people that bought the FOMO that didn't buy prior, are getting fleeced, heisted, and shysted. If we take a look at some of the news that's going on, let's take a look at some of the news in the Bitcoin price. We'll go down to the news section. No, the news section, not Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin news. You can see micro salary. Come on. You can see strategies help solve its Bitcoin preferred problem here. So how Peter Schiff says Conman Saylor is finished as Bitcoin giant, 1.44 billion US reserve. The long-running debate between Peter Schiff and Michael Saylor has exploded again after Strategies announced a major shift in its financial strategy. The company had created 1.44 billion in US dollar reserve, a move Shift claim proves the company Bitcoin-based business model is broken. Strategy Inc. creates 1.44 billion in USD reserve. Strategy Inc. said it has set up a 1.44 billion USD reserve to ensure it can continue paying dividends on its preferred stock and interest on its outstanding debt. And this is going to be one thing as the Bitcoin price, if it continues to stay down and go down, this debt is going to get higher and higher. His interest payments are going to get more and more, and he's not going to have the money to play this. Strategy Inc. announced that the company size USD reserve will help stabilize operations during period of volatility. It plans to eventually scale the reserves to cover 12 months of obligations and later expand to its 24 months or more. Michael Saylor called the new reserve the new step in the company's evolution, expanding that the mix of BTC reserve and USD reserve strengthens Strategy's long-term vision as a leader issuer of digital credits. So you can see he's stockpiling cash. When he says cash is garbage, why is he stockpiling 6 months, a year, and then 2 years worth of cash? Right? And how is he getting that cash? He's probably quietly selling some of those Bitcoin. That's all speculation, of course. Gold advocate and long term crypto critic Peter Schiff reacted immediately and harshly, according to Schiff. The announcement proves Strategy Inc. model has hit a breaking point. He posted Tuesday is the beginning of the end of MSTR. Saylor was forced to sell stock, not to buy Bitcoin, but to buy US dollars just to fund interest and dividend obligations. And this is something that gold crypto investing, the gold standard here, has been promoting that this would eventually happen. The stock is broken, the business model is a fraud, and Saylor is the biggest con man on Wall Street, unquote Peter Schiff. Those are tough, hard words. Schiff argues that issuing stock to raise cash, not for buying Bitcoin, but to pay obligations, shows that Strategy Inc. is struggling to sustain its aggressive Bitcoin leverage strategy. The model is now watching closely. For years, Strategy Inc. has been the most aggressive corporate buyer of Bitcoin. But with this new USD buffer, the company is showing that stability, cash flow, and liquidity are now just as important as Bitcoin accumulation. Which means, and something I've been saying, if they're ever forced to sell, which it seems to me they have a little bit, it's a cascading effect. And if the Bitcoin price doesn't consistently rise and stays down too long, this whole thing blows up in its face and it forces a whole bunch more sell orders onto the open market, driving the Bitcoin price down even more. Like the channel, subscribe, peace and love. The Rex Eyebrow, Jay.